All right, so I'm gonna explain this thing with the sun one more time in a little bit of detail. So, sun is up here, right? Now, I'm on top of this bridge right now. So, yes, guys, the sun and the moon are circling above us. The Earth is not a ball. It's not a sphere. It's not a floating ball of matter out in outer space. Zooming through the universe at how many millions of miles per hour. The Earth is not spinning 1,000 miles per hour. I can't feel it, neither can you. The sun, using our natural instincts, we can clearly see that the sun is circling around. If they didn't teach you that in school, your natural instincts would tell you that, yes, the sun is circling above us and so is the moon. However, since from a young age, they told us that the sun is, still, it's not moving, and the Earth is somehow moving around the sun, yet we can't feel it. We don't feel a thing. And we just believe that because, again, we're taught not to question authority. And we grow up like that as adults. We never question anything. We just think, oh, this is just how it must be. Anyway, so the sun is up here. Now, when the sun, comes over here, it's not gonna go down like this. It's not gonna go straight down like that. What the sun is doing, imagine, the top of my finger is the sun. It's moving away until it gets, to the converging point on the horizon, and then it will go too far away for us to see it anymore, and that's when the sun sets, quote unquote. And what the sun is really doing, it's just moving farther and farther away until we can't see it, and then it will circle back around until it comes back here again tomorrow, and it will do the same thing. It will just move farther and farther away and come back around. And the moon does the same thing. The moon actually moves a little bit slower than the sun does. For every 360 degrees that the sun makes around the Earth, the moon makes about 347 degrees. So about a 13-degree difference, which is about an hour difference in real time. So the moon, on average, takes about 25 hours to get around. That's why that's why the moon can sometimes be seen during the daytime. And I think the moon is going to rise at around sometime in the middle of the night. I think the moon might actually be out right now. Actually, no, it's not. I think it's set earlier. So yeah, that's why you can see the moon during the daytime sometimes, because it moves slower than the sun does. So what actually ends up happening is the sun catches back up to the moon again. It comes back around, catches up to the moon, and when the sun and the moon meet up, that's when the new moon starts. So I'm gonna pause it right here and come back in a second. And of course, they teach us this stuff in school because they don't want anybody questioning anything. They just want everybody to think that the Earth is some spinning ball in outer space. Now, if people did find out that the Earth is actually a stationary entity, for lack of a better word, that the Earth is stationary, it doesn't curve or bend, it's a flat surface. If people actually found this out, they would begin questioning why. How come in school I was taught that the sun is actually not moving and it's the Earth circling around? Why did they teach me that? And we would all begin questioning everything because we wouldn't understand why would they teach us that? Why would they teach us these things? And everybody would start figuring out that, maybe there's something greater in this life. Maybe we do have a purpose instead of just trying to fit in with what everybody does and go along with the program. Because that's what school teaches us to do. That's all they ever teach you in school, is to fit in and go along with what everyone else is doing. You know, the people who branch off and do their own thing, that's what they don't want people to do. They don't want people branching off and doing their own thing and just living the life the way they want to. No, they want everybody to be controlled, and they want everybody to be dependent. So they teach us to just fit in, right? And what does that make us do as a kid growing up? We just follow what everyone else is doing. We just assume that, well, this is how it is. This is how life is. It is what it is. This is the way it's supposed to be. Even though I don't like it and I'm not happy, this is just how it is. So, like for example, if a teenager growing up is at a job they don't like, their parents might tell them something like, "Oh, well, you need to just learn to like your job. You need to learn to like it. That's what you need to do." Well, that's not really helping anything. If somebody's unhappy where they're at, then they're not happy. There's nothing you can do to make them happy. If they're not happy with their life, then they need to change something. They can't just learn to like it. They can't learn to like their life. It means they need to figure out something else. They need to find something that they love to do. Telling them that they need to learn to like it, it's just immature, and it means that, the parents telling them that are also, indoctrinated just like everyone else. And they just think, "Oh, well, that's life. You you go to school for 12 years, and then you might go to school for another 4 years, and then you work somewhere that you really particularly don't want to be at for the next 45 years of your life, and then that's just how it is." Most parents will just say, "Well, that's life, and that's what you have to do. You gotta just that's what they say. Welcome to the real world. That's just the way life is. Welcome. This is life." So, that's what people tell us, and most of us we don't have. A lot of us younger people nowadays are the ones who are waking up and realizing this stuff. I would say it's mostly like the younger generations, like people who are in their maybe late teens, early 20s. Those are probably the majority of the people who are starting to wake up, because their minds are the youngest, so they've had the least amount of time spent on earth being programmed. Whereas people who are older, they've been around longer, they've had more time to be programmed, indoctrinated,